Hey everybody, it is Romania Black, and we are on episode 5 of Attack on Titan Junior High, studying hard. So I did watch the preview after I recorded the reaction, and it was basically, the preview was just Armin helping Sasha study for an exam, which I'm like, okay. It's funny, I'm recording this around the same time of finals week for where I teach, so I'm like, it's just all very festive and thematic, right? Just get these final exams over with, huh? But, oh my gosh, this series is so adorable. We've been talking in the comments, it's cute, but there's like a sadness to it when you figure out that you're like, man, And I'm getting so used to like the cuteness of it that in the back of my head, I'm like, wait, the real Attack on Titan's not going to be cute like this at all. So yeah, so I am working on, starting to script out the recap, get that ready. We're not quite halfway through the season yet, but we're getting there. And then so this summer I'll have the recap all ready to go. So I'm pretty excited about that. But in the meantime, we're not going to worry about the recap now. We're not going to worry about the recap. We're not going to worry about the final part of season 4 and all of its monstrosity. We're not going to worry about that at all. No, we're going to have happy, good, fun times with Armin and the others in our season 1, back when things were wholesome and simple. Back in season 1, right? It has been fun going back to a lot of things discussed, and several of you have pointed out, because I'll be like, oh, that's like that in season 4, and that's like that in season 4, and people in the comments will be like, well, that's actually stuff that happened in season 1, and I think that's really cool, because what it's doing is it's Isayama showing the it's all coming full circle, right? Stuff from season 1 that was set up that this series is identifying and showing and making fun of is also things that have come back full circle in season 4. And it's like, oh, so it kind of applies to both. It's interesting. And I do like the little subtle hints about season 2 that they kind of drop in here to like give us to give the audience little clues. If you're anime only, I'm sure you're watching this being like, I don't get it. But if you're a manga reader, you're probably watching this going, oh, they're giving us a little nod to that, huh? It's fun. I like it a lot. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what all we find in this episode and to hear everybody be happy in this series. That's the main thing, right? Just to hear everybody be happy and have a good time. It doesn't happen in the regular series, so we need to savor it now, right? But we're going to start episode 5 of Attack on Titan Junior High, and we're going to start that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Okay. This is really cute. I liked this episode a lot. Poor Bertholdt. Bertholdt just got the shaft, man. He cannot catch a break. It's funny because this is all season 1 stuff going into season 2. But we don't really ever, like I was saying before we start, we don't really ever get a lot about these characters and like their aptitude towards like intelligence. I like that Mike and Hanji and Levi stick out so much in this series. Like at least Moblet has on like the shirt and the pants like everybody else, and Levi has on the pants, like the shirt and pants too, but Hanji with the tracksuit and Mike with the green like cardigan, like suit jacket over it, like the green hoodie, they stand out so much. They do not look like middle school kids at all. And so then yeah, we get Nak and Melius and them looking very nervous, and then Oro back there looking cocky. Franz and Hana are just canoodling there in the back like they always do. I love that Historia's like, oh, what do I do? Eren's like, and Ymir looks like she'd care less. Connie's not even paying attention. And then I love that Sasha's eating a damn kebab and Bertholdt's looking over at Sasha. So that's interesting that Bertholdt's watching her. Curious. He's not watching Annie in this episode. Interesting. And then, Annie's looking out the window. Reiner's not paying attention. And then Marco and Jean look concerned. Interesting. So yeah, they had the makeup test and everything. I'll go through this intro. I love the stare down between Sasha and Keith. It's such a great callback to season 1. But just that stare down, like just that awkward silence between them. It's so damn funny, and Keith's mouth's open. It's just the best. I love it so much. It's just such that awkward humor. And then Hannes is stuck doing the janitorial work. Again, I just want to see Erwin and Levi interact one time in this series. It's all I want. I'm not asking for much. Just Erwin and Levi to have an interaction. Put Hanji in there if you don't want to have these two guys alone in a room. I'm fine with that. But Sasha getting like single digits on her scores, on her subjects. It's awful. I love that we established that Mikasa is always cold. She's kind of like Armin. She's constantly cold. She has like a cardigan, sweater, and the scarf on when everybody else, when it's supposed to be summer. It's supposed to be summer, and Mikasa has like a cardigan and a sweater on, and a scarf on. Okay. And so, yeah, Connie just failed everything. I love this image of Keith looking dastardly and Sasha just being like, Sasha and Hanji's voice actresses got to have so much fun in this episode. Like Sasha and Hanji both getting to like yell and scream and do fun things. Like that was great. I thought that was really, really humorous. I liked that a lot. But, so of course, the first person that Sasha asks for help is Eren to help her with her studies. Sasha does. She says, please stay and help me study. She has like the sparkles and everything in her eyes. And Eren's like, nope, sorry, I gotta go to the scouts room. Bye, not studying for this test. So let it be known, Eren is not gonna study. And of course, Mikasa is like, and Mikasa's like dodging the rays, like, no, I'm gonna go help Eren, sorry. Eren, wait for me. And then Sasha doesn't even, she's like, oh, you can go, Jean, you're being a jerk. We're left with our chaos trio, and Sasha just dismisses John because he was being a jerk to her earlier. And he's like, how dare you? And then, of course, Connie just skips the makeup exam altogether, right? And then he's like, I love that Bertholdt's here. He's like, hey, if you want me to, I can help. And then she's like, I'm going to be lunchless. And, of course, Connie decides. So it's funny, I don't know why they had Bertholdt come in to help her. Why did they do that? I guess to, like, have him show up. It's just very funny, again, that the two people left with her, other than Connie, are Bertholdt and Armin, who are both the Colossal Titan. Like, that's funny that that's just how it works out. That she sees. And Bertholdt just gets completely ignored. Like, she asks Armin for help, and he's like, oh, sure, I'll help you. And then Connie, like, he's like, oh, would you like to study with us too, Connie? Like, Armin's like, you want to help out? And she's like, oh, yeah, you'll be a great teacher. And then he's like, we can put our minds together and see what happens. And I love that Armin says, let's study hard together. The three of us. And I was like, oh, they forgot Bertholdt. They literally did. He just getting ignored. Oh my God. Oh, it's so great. It's amazing. Bertholdt just, that's so damn funny. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, I really think that Armin is a good teacher, and I like that this series establishes that Armin is good at teaching by example, and that I like that Sasha's like, people think that you're weak, but you're really not. Like, there's a lot of really positive traits that you have. He's just scared of the dark. It's funny, he's scared of the darkness, right? Oh, I love it. And then this whole thing with teaching her how to do the math, I'm getting a 3 out of 100, the worst subject she has, and he teaches her to think of X and Y as food. I was like, that seems like a great idea, except then Sasha's going to get distracted by all the food, which she does in the end, But it worked for a little while. And then Oro, actually, I like this thing with Oro actually getting like a 94 on the test and him being like, trying to complain. And Oro does the thing, oh my gosh, I can't do that. When people do when they're just fishing for attention, and people are, and because I had a coworker once that she always would come in and she'd just sit down. We had like a little office area, and I'd be sitting at my desk trying to get stuff ready for class, and she'd come in, sit down, and just go, just do like the sigh that makes you, the sigh that is the question, the I want you to ask me how my day is going sigh. And I was like, no. I was like, and I would just ignore her. I was like, I don't want to go there, because it'd be like Oro. It'd be that story you don't want to hear. I was Petra in this. I was like sitting there like Petra, like, don't do it. Don't you feed into it. Don't you feed the monster. Or she'd be like, well, this has been a day. And I'm like, whenever somebody does that, just don't answer the question. Just ignore. Don't feed into it. Nope. I am totally Petra in this situation. But it's funny because even though this establishes Oro trying to fish for compliments and fish for attention, it also establishes that Oro was pretty smart. Like, he's not an idiot, right? But he's also trying to imitate Levi to get... It's painfully obvious now rewatching that Oro liked Petra a lot and wanted to get Petra like to impress her, and she was like, this guy. And so I also love, okay, so what are they playing? They're playing an Attack on Titan game, right there. They're playing it on the Game Boy Advance, right? Oh my gosh, on the DS. Amazing. And so it looked like an Attack on Titan game because one of the characters was attacking the Titan in the game. That's great. And then going over here to Knack, I believe it's Knack, with the manga, and Petra being like, you're actually nothing like Levi, so quit trying to be like him. It's great. But what is this moment here? Yeah, so he's looking at the manga. Yeah. I'm like, which part of the manga is he looking at? I wanted to see. It looked like Hanji on the page. It looks like Hanji. That's great. Oh my god. But they're actually reading the manga. Like such an in-reference thing. It's great. And so then I love seeing Jean and Mikasa and Eren together. We don't see just those three together enough. I really like it because Jean's always been known as like Eren's body double. And in here, he's just his own character alongside Eren and Mikasa. It is great. He gets mad at... I like that Jean is visible... Oro insults Jean and Eren, and Jean is visibly, like, shaking, and Eren's just like... and Mikasa's like, what? What was that on the back there? It was like, I'm sorry, but, oh, it's something like giving... It looked like a pair of lips, but it's like somebody giving something to a fountain. It's weird. Whatever is on that picture on the wall back there, it's kind of distracting. It's odd. But yeah, Petra just being like, stop it. I missed a whopping 6 points. Oh my gosh. So then again, Hanji's VA gets to be super, super energetic in this episode. I love Hanji's VA, Romy Park. I love it. I love that they're just like all about making Hanji as animated. It's so refreshing to see Hanji animated and excited about Asani and Bean and all that. It's so refreshing because Hanji now, it's like the light has been sucked out of her in season 4 because she has to do the job as the Survey Corps commander and has to deal with all this bullshit that happens in season 4. So seeing Hanji just not be their energetic go-to self, it's really nice getting a callback to it in this episode. But then it makes me sad because I know it's not in season 4 and I'm like, wow, that sucks. But yeah, Levi gets 2 points higher, gets the 95. Go figure. I love that Moblet's in this a lot. Moblet is in there with Hanji just to try to rein Hanji in from their madness, you know. And Hanji's like, all I have is 21 yen. And he's like, go get some squid. She's like, help me, I'm poor. And Levi's like, I ain't helping you. I'm from the underground. Where I'm going to just go get some Sachon squid or something. You're fine. She's like, I need bread. Oh my god. And I love how it goes from Hanji being super energetic to being like super serious. And then we have the dramatic lighting of the room. That's so great. That's really funny. And Levi's like, I don't care. He's just like starved to death. I love it. She's like, I'm gonna go leech the underclassmen using your name. And then Levi's like, he shows up and Eren's like, I love that hearing Eren say Levi senpai is like soothing my soul. Hearing Eren say Levi senpai. It's so good. And of course, Eren and Jean are the ones that get Hanji tied up. It was terrible. I love it. This is amazing. Like, take Hanji with you. And they tie Hanji up and Hanji just breaks through the ropes like it's nothing to go show them Sonny and Bean, to show them her experiments. And I love that we go into the biology club room, the prep room with Moblet. Moblet has the sweat drop running down his face like, oh god. And we see the colossal Titan, right? But we also see like the Titan with the jaw unhinged. I'm like, but that's kind of crazy because in a way, you see like the half skeleton of the colossal Titan next to it. It almost reminds me of when Bertholdt is transferring his powers to Armin and Armin has that dream and the dream is half the skeleton of Bertholdt looks like the colossal Titan and half of it is like the skeleton. It looks like the skeleton that's hanging up here, which is interesting. And it's the half and half skeleton. Interesting. It's very curious, right? But there's a telescope in there. And Eren, of course, is like, it's pitch dark in here. Like, he goes in first. Of course, Eren jumps in and Moblet's like, here we go. And that's when they see Sonny and Bean. And they're like tied up with gym equipment. Like chained up with gym equipment. It's crazy. I'm naming them after a bug and a crab that I used to have. Oh my god. That I used to take care of a long time ago. And of course, feeding the Titans. Hanji's been using all of their money to get food for the Titans. And that's why they wanted to get the food off of Levi. And Levi's like, are you kidding me? I love that Moblet's like, this is what I've been dealing with this entire time. I'm sorry. And then, yeah, and Levi's like, and Levi comes in, he's like, I see, this is why you're broke. Mm-hmm. And so he just gives her dog food. Again, I'm like, where did Levi get dog food? Does Levi have a dog in this world? In this chibi world? Does he have a dog? Or did he just find some on the way? Did Erwin give him the dog food? Where did he get such things? And Hanji just eating it because why not? It's great. So then, yeah, we get Sasha and Armin walking home back at night, and they're going over like all of the reviewing the tests. And he's like, you got most of them correct. And Sasha says, it's because you're a good teacher. And he says, no, this is without a doubt your own ability. So I like that. I like Armin's like, he doesn't take the credit for it. He's like, no, this was all you. It's all your ability. It's fine. It's all good. And gives it back to her. Oh. And she says, my impression of Armin was that he's just weak, but he's very kind and smart. Mm-hmm. And he's got lots of wonderful traits. I'm like, yes, our boy Armin, he does have lots of wonderful traits. He's our good boy. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so then, yeah, they part ways, and she's like thinking about all the food and everything. And then Armin is scared of the dark. Oh, that's so sad. And she's like, maybe he is weak. And it's like, no. And then they do the makeup tests, and of course Connie skips it, and Sasha fails it, and they have the refresher course. So cute. Cute. But yeah, this was really sweet. There wasn't really a lot to talk. There wasn't really a lot. This was pretty much most of it was about Oro and the Levi Squad, and then Hanji and tying into Sonny and Bean. So we've like cut from episodes 3 and 4 of season 1. We've like cut from that business all the way up to like episode 15 of the series, which is interesting because Sonny and Bean were like in episode 15 of season 1. So it's curious that we're just bouncing around. And then we didn't see a lot of. This was a very limited episode. We only saw Bertholdt was the only warrior crew person we saw. We didn't see Historia or Ymir or Reiner. We didn't see any of them. But that's curious. We didn't see any of their test results either. Or Annie. None of them were present in here. Really, it was just our Chaos Trio and our main trio, basically, and the Levi Squad. And then Hanji and Levi. That was it. Very curious. But it was such a really cute, fun episode, but there wasn't a lot of underlying symbolic elements unless you all happen to notice them. I don't know. But next episode's halfway point. Next episode is the halfway point of Attack on Titan Junior High. Holy cow. Yeah. Next week is our halfway point. We'll be halfway through. Fun times. So this was a really cute episode, but I'm super intrigued about the love letter. I'm like, where's that gonna have? I want to see that. Where's that episode? So that should be interesting. But yeah, I'm really curious to know your thoughts down below. If you guys noticed anything from season 1 or hints at season 2 that stood out, I'd be curious to see what those were. But this was a really cute episode. Not a whole lot to talk about in terms of Attack on Titan, but just a really cute little fun episode. And the stuff with Bertholdt, that was off the charts. I love that so much. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this reaction and discussion. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next week. We'll be at the halfway point of Attack on Titan Junior High. Bye.